Let's talk about humans, the human species, and monogamy. Is it possible? Are we supposed to be monogamous? Or is monogamy just a fallacy? Or do we say we are not supposed to be monogamous? Look at animals. Do we use that as an excuse for us to, do what we want to do? I've always thought this, what kind of sparked this conversation to happen now was I was watching a video and they were talking about all the animals that were not monogamous. Again, they were talking about all the animals that were not monogamous. And out of all the animals that were not monogamous, maybe 10% or less, I believe, were monogamous. So a lot of people say, well, look at animals, animals are not monogamous, so how do you expect us to be monogamous? And my counter to that is that, yes, we are animals, but we have way further thinking and our mind capabilities than animals. You see, a lot of the reason why animals do what they do is for survival. A lot of the reasons why animals may not be monogamous is for survival. Pure survival. It's not because they think this bird over here is better than the bird they have now, or they're more attracted to this bird over there, or it's not it. Their infidelity is not the same as our infidelity. We practice infidelity because we're bored. Because we think the grass is green on the other side. Because we believe we have free will and we can do what we want to do and this is one life and da 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 da. That's why we practice infidelity as humans. It's not because we want to ensure the strongest genes or the best future, or it's not because of that. Like I said, when you look at other animals and why they may practice infidelity or why they cheat, quote unquote, it's strictly for the reason of longevity. It's strictly for survival. So, as humans, should we practice fidelity? Should we be, or what differentiates? What is the difference between us and the animals? So why we should be loyal and why they shouldn't? Well, take a look back at how many heartbreaks you've had and how those heartbreaks hurt or hinder your future progress of getting with somebody else. Or if you're on the other opposite end of it, imagine or think about all the people that you've been with or tried to be with and how many times they've been hung up over their ex, or their ex hurt them, or they're still, in that healing process. The bond that forms, the oxytocin, the chemicals that get released when you have a sexual partner is very, 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 very highly energetic. So imagine you mixing this energy with multiple partners and multiple people. Number one, you start losing yourself. Number two, all these people's energy is now starting to be put into you, which makes it harder for you to bond when you find that right person. See, I believe as humans, we have other skills that allows us to pick the perfect partner for us for our life. Not saying you're not going to get bored with them once in a while. You may hate them once in a while. Whatever. Not saying that. But I believe as humans, we have the ability to pick people. We have the discernment to pick people that will be best for us for our life. And I don't believe, well, animals may have that, but that is not the animal's prerogative. The animal's prerogative is to survive. See, as humans, we can survive individually. Once we're born, we're able to survive till death on our own. Again, as humans, we are able to survive on our own. After birth, we are able to survive alone. Now, in order for the human race to continue, you need somebody else. But just the beginning to the end by yourself, you can do that alone. So when I look at animals, they may need to have multiple partners, or they may need to do this and do that. It's built into their DNA. It's hardwired into their culture. As humans, I believe we have the ability to choose. Now, in certain situations like polygamy and all these things, I still make that monogamous. Or honesty, not cheating. I said put that in the same category because you're still working with a game plan. So, are we wired to cheat? I don't think so. I think we take that on. I think that's the world. That's because our lust and our desires overrule our mind. You know, they say it's the humans' number one thing is to procreate. The humans' number one incentive is to procreate. That's why we have lust and these desires and this and that and this and that. But I believe our mind and our knowledge overweighs that, because if we gave into our lust, if we gave into our temptations at every whim, as a society, we will fall. Who would take care of all the babies? Who would go to work? Who would do this? Who would do that? So just because we feel like we have that imperative, just because we feel like we have that itch, doesn't necessarily mean it always has to be exercised. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily for our betterment. Doesn't also always necessarily mean that. I believe it's a human choice. I greatly believe it's a human choice. Anyways, let me know how y'all feel about this. This is Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.